This is TWiT.
Still on the developer tip, though, when is this news, which I think this news came because of a games summit that was happening.
Yeah. So this morning, actually, I'm not sure how long it goes, but this morning was the start of the Google for Games Developer Summit. And there was quite a few announcements related to Android game development in particular. And actually some of whoopsies, hit my keyboard, different setup, just mania and like frenzied dogs and cats living together. So there's a lot of actually interesting announcements from this Google Games Developer Summit that kind of tie into some of the things that we talked about. So one of the most interesting things is this play as you download, which I think was introduced in 12, but it basically allows a user to kind of do a little bit of a small download up front. And then as the rest of the game is downloading, you're able to actually run and play that first little bit of the game that you downloaded. And it looks like Google is using some kind of like smart analysis of like how like game files are stored to kind of most efficiently download and access them. But it's not unlike, say, like instant apps a while ago, or even like kind of like dynamic loaded features. It's this kind of thing where we give you a little bit or we give it to you as you need it kind of thing. And I can only imagine this is done. My guess is it's done through kind of similar mechanisms where Google's able to kind of portion apps into like these little bundles and allow you to touch like the bundle that you have available while other things download in the background, which I think is actually really cool. And again, really kind of is not dissimilar to kind of some of the other things that we've talked about before. This feature is currently in beta, but it will open up pretty soon. In fact, if you are a game developer, you can sign up for Play As You Download. And there's just like a lot of like really interesting game developer announcements. Let me see. They also mentioned that Google app usage on Chrome OS grew 50% in 2021, which might be touching on kind of like the large screen story here. But in particular, this growth on Chrome OS, they say is led by games. And another couple interesting things, and this touches back on the Samsung story, is that Google has actually updated the Android game development extension to allow for better resource debugging. So, and this is kind of, I don't know too much about game development, but it looks like there's going to be a tighter connection between Visual Studio, which is a Microsoft integrated developer environment, and actually Android Studio, which is where the rest of us live. And I think that connection allows them to kind of more analyze a device, analyze the app running on it, and analyze the resources being used. So there's going to be a memory advice API. There's going to be a GPU inspector that kind of lets you kind of see when your game is like kind of bottlenecked on using its GPU versus using CPU, and how to improve frame rates and battery life. So see, Samsung, we don't need you. We have ways of figuring out how we
can do this
GPU,
without you.
CPU. We can do this without you. But I mean, that was kind of like the point I was making. Like, this is ridiculous. This kind of management is being done, and again is being tooled by Google on the developer side. So anyway, any excuses of that nature to me fall a little bit on my deaf ears. And then I think another thing is that we talked about this a little while ago about how Google was kind of offering Play Console like strategy advice based on like how you monetize. Well, they have now announced the Google Play Partner Program. For games specifically. And in general, a partner is, you're a Google partner when basically you become big enough to warrant certain privileges and benefits. I don't know how to make this sound less skeezy, but it's basically Google recognizing and trying to support very successful apps and games by kind of giving them extra assistance, giving them extra things. So for example, if you are a Google Play partner for games, you might have enhanced business support. You might have a faster priority publishing queue, which is interesting. More metrics to look at, insights and device attributes, kind of all kinds of nice pre-launch things. Looks like early release tools, growth and engagement features, yada, 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 kind of just priority, early access, new things. And so this is being rolled out right now, it is being announced. And so it'll be kind of available to big, huge studios. So partner level developers and studios, which is, quote, more than $5 million USD annually in games consumer spend. So, I mean, I guess for most of us, this is less interesting, but if you happen to be working at a shop that is a partner, might be some choice for you to play with. So very interesting.